What's going on, nation, and welcome to Bench Break Episode 6, How to Build More Visible and Blocky Abs. Now, we all know that as you start to decrease your body fat percentage, you're going to start to see the outlines of your abdominals and your obliques. But what if you want to have those extra deep cuts and you want to have the kind of abs that really poke out when you flex? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to train your abs like you would any other muscle part that you want to grow. What I want to do today is go over with you the training techniques that I use to help me build a defined six-pack and obliques. For your frequency, I'm going to recommend that you train your abs 4 times a week. And what I like to do is split those workouts into 2 different categories. On day 1, I like to focus on the rectus abdominis, and on day 2, I like to focus on the obliques. And then what I do is I take a rest day and then repeat that workout. So day 4, rectus abdominis. Day 5, I'm hitting the obliques again. For the intensity of these exercises, you're going to be trying to lift as much weight as possible for the designated rep ranges. Just like any other muscle group that you train, you want to apply as much weight and progressive overload as possible to really rip and tear the muscle fibers so that you can actually have some growth. Now, the sets and reps and rest periods for these exercises, I'm going to recommend that you do at least 4 sets per exercise, and you keep that rep range between 12 and 15 repetitions and only take a 60 to 90 second break in between each exercise. Now that you have an idea on how to format your routine, what I want to do is go over with you my 6 favorite exercises for day 1. And when you decide to make your routine, you only need to pick 2 to 3 exercises per day. So if you want to use the exercises from this list, just pick 2 to 3. I also want you to know that there is a lot of speculation out there that you can't target your lower abs specifically or the upper. In my experience, whenever I perform an exercise that involves weighted leg lifting, so I'm lifting my legs in the air and applying extra weight to it, I feel like I have a lot more engagement in my lower abs. So with this in mind, every single time I do my day 1 workout, I make sure I always incorporate an exercise that involves lifting the legs. So let's get started with the first exercise. Now the first one is my all-time favorite exercise, and it's called an ab pull down. Now I'm going to simulate this with bungees. However, if you check out this video right here, it's actually an exercise that you can perform a lot easier with a lot more weight with a cable machine. But I don't have it in my studio, so I'm going to demonstrate right here. So the ab pull down, very simple, on your knees like this. You're holding the handles by your head, and you're bringing your knees to your elbows. Or say elbows to knees. If you can bring your knees to your elbows, that's talent. And you'll notice I'm trying to keep my torso in one place as I do the exercise. And when you start to lift really heavy with this exercise, if you can have somebody stand on your toes, it'll allow you to focus more on contracting your core as opposed to trying to do the exercise and hold yourself in one spot. Second exercise is going to be a dumbbell hanging knee raise. Now for some of you, it actually might already be an intense exercise just to kind of hang like this and raise your knees in the air as high as you can. For those of you who are a bit more advanced, I'd like for you to do it with a dumbbell. And there's a few different ways you can do this. If you have access to ankle weights, you can use those as well. If you don't, just position a dumbbell where you can grab it with your feet. You're going to hang like so and bring it up as high as possible, controlling the weight on the way up and on the way down, and you're not using any momentum. You can also perform this exercise with a dip station. Doing the same thing, you're going to bring yourself in the air, and with this one, you want to make sure your hips are staying in line with your hands, okay? And I'll show you the difference. This is what the exercise is supposed to look like. So I'm actually pushing my hips forward. This is what you don't want to do. You don't want to be doing this. Okay? Hips forward, bring the weight up as high as you can. So that's the more advanced way to do it. My third favorite exercise is ball passes. And these can get pretty intense. especially if you use a slower tempo, so you go a lot slower with the ball pass. Now, whenever you do these, it's actually a 1-1 count. So it's not one repetition until the ball leaves your feet and then comes back to your feet. So just like this. Lay down on the ground, hands over your head, come up, and as you come up to grab the ball, your shoulder blades have to come off the ground. Don't just get lazy and do this. Shoulder blades up, grab, come back down. Don't let your feet or the ball touch the ground. Bring it back to the middle, and then go back and forth, just like this. The fourth exercise is going to be a medicine ball floor crunch. For this one, you might want to start off with a smaller size medicine ball. This is an 8-pound ball. And the way this exercise works is similar to the ball pass, where you're going to hold the medicine ball between your feet. If you don't have a medicine ball, you can try to find something else to hold. You lay down on the ground like this, hold the ball in the air, and as you bring the ball in, you're going to crunch and touch your elbows to your knees. Just like this. And you'll notice the whole time, I wasn't letting the medicine ball touch the ground. And for me, that one really kills my lower abdominals. The next exercise I want to show you guys is going to be a dumbbell toe touch crunch. And for this one, you're going to lay down on the ground like this. You're going to hold your arm in the air, shoulder blade on the ground. Keep one leg bent. And then what you're going to do is raise one leg in the air and touch the toes with your opposite hand, like this. And then come back down to the ground, just like that. And what you would do is perform all your reps on one side and then switch to the other. And again, you guys will see that on all these exercises, I'm really getting my shoulders off the ground and I'm contracting my abs as hard as I can. The sixth exercise is going to be a ball crunch with a plate. And the way this is going to work, you don't need much weight for this exercise, believe it or not. Is you're going to sit on a ball, take a plate, and you're going to hold it behind your head like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lean back as far as you can, come up for a crunch, and then come back down. And hold that plate to your head as tight as you can. Just like that. So those are some of my favorite exercises to target the rectus abdominis on day one. So what we're going to do now is go to day 2. And I'm going to show you some of my favorite exercises that target obliques. Now we're on to day 2, which is going to be obliques. And once again, I'm going to show you guys 4 challenging exercises to really target your obliques. But remember, you're only picking 2 to 3 to do on your day 2 workout. The first exercise is going to be a wood chopper. Now for this exercise, you want to use a cable machine. However, I'm going to demonstrate with a bungee once again. So for the wood chopper, what you want to do is you want to set up the pulley so it's at about your hip height. From there, you're going to hold on to the handle. I like to interlock my fingers. And as a rule of thumb, with most oblique exercises, I like to keep my hips facing one way and never let them move. That way I get as much tension as possible as I twist my torso. So for this exercise, I'll actually start with my toes facing forward and my hips facing forward away from the machine. Grab the handle, keep my arm straight, and then push all the way through. And as I come back, I'm keeping my hips facing forward, just like this. And for this exercise, you will obviously have to do 15 reps on one side and then 15 reps on the other side. Now you can also switch up this exercise every once in a while if you would like. You can try doing it from a low angle like this, just to target your obliques a bit differently. And you would go from the bottom to the top. And then you can also put the bungee up higher and target from top to bottom. But you'll notice that whether I'm doing the middle, top, or bottom, the bungee's always going through the center of my core. The second exercise I want to show you guys is a standing oblique crunch. Now with this exercise, it might be easier for you to start off by holding a plate, but as you get more advanced and stronger, you can go to dumbbells. And with this exercise, once again, you're going to do 15 repetitions per side. It's really important that you keep your hips in one place and you only dip as far as you can go without your hips pushing out to the side. They'll move a little bit, but there's a big difference between dipping this low and then dipping like that. It's really throwing your body out of whack. Put a lot of unwanted pressure on your spine, and it's just not a good thing. So stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, put your hand on your hip or behind your head, dip down as far as you can, and then crunch. And even when you crunch as tight as you can without pushing your hip out to the side too much. So you don't want to be doing this. You just want to stay nice and tight. Go down, come up, really crunching your torso and focusing on your obliques. As soon as you're done, switch sides, hit the other side. The third exercise is going to be a floor oblique twist. And you're going to use a plate. If you want to, you can also use a medicine ball. For this exercise, you're going to actually try to balance on your glutes. So keep your feet together, flex your glutes a little bit. Lean back as far as you can while still being able to sit upright. And what you want to do is bring the plate back and forth. You can touch the ground if you'd like to, but the exercise will be a little more intense if you just go as far as you can to the ground without touching and then go back to the other side. So I'll show you real quick. So down, back and forth, just like this. And once again, you're doing 15 reps per side. Now, the fourth exercise, and this is a really challenging exercise, is going to be, standing oblique twist with dumbbells. And the way this exercise works is you're going to stand with your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to hold your arms out to the side like this, bend your knees, and then you're going to twist side to side, just like that. And again, you'll notice that my hips are facing forward the entire time, and I'm not really using that heavy of weights. The most I usually do on this is 10-pound dumbbells. Believe it or not, 5s are actually pretty challenging if you do it correctly. And you're doing that 1-1 count again. So one rep is left, right, 1, left, right, 2. You also want to make sure your arms are staying straight the entire time. If you've never done this exercise before, I want you to start off with just your hands. What tends to happen if you go right to dumbbells is you'll twist and your arms will start doing things like this, and it's not really letting the exercise do what it's meant to do, which is target your obliques. So start off with your hands out to the side like that and focus on keeping everything nice and straight. If you want to practice, you can actually get a wooden pole or something to put across your neck and put your arms on top of to practice it like that as well. So that's your day 2 routine. You're going to be targeting your obliques. Pick 2 to 3 of your favorite exercises. And remember, try to progressively overload as you're doing your routines. The goal is to get 15 repetitions. If by the time you get to your 4th set, you've increased the weight and you can only get 10 to 12, that's okay. Just push it as hard as you can. If you guys have any questions about this video or your exercise routine to get better results, join us in the forum section right here. The community and I are there daily to help you guys out. And for more great tips, exercises, and routines, feel free to join us on scotthermanfitness.com. And as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys. If you're looking for a quick way to switch things up, log into your SHF profile and go to the workout section of the website. Once there, click on the muscles you want to train, then you'll be brought to a page where you can further filter down your search. Now you have a complete list of all the routines that target your chest and utilize only a barbell or dumbbell. From here you can rate the routine, add it to your routines in your profile, and if you scroll down, you can see a write-up of the entire routine as well as photos of all the exercises. You can also download a printable PDF just by clicking on it.